Thank you, Ms. Cummings, for your testimony. My questions today, because there are still so many unanswered ones about the causes of and responses to the May 19th Plains oil spill in my district, will have to do with that particular incident. I know the investigation, not the rulemaking necessarily, but the investigation takes time. It's important to get the facts right. But it has been 2 months since this spill occurred on the pristine coastline, Gaviota Coast, my district. When will this investigation be completed and the results shared with the public?
Thank you, Congresswoman Capps. And before I answer, I'd just like to thank you for your support of the agency, as well as the time you've spent with our PHMSA employees and talking to them out in San Diego. They appreciated it. And I hope you found, as I have, how dedicated to safety those PHMSA staff are, and that they take this oil spill personally, just like you do. The investigation will take time. There are many aspects that will require third-party evaluation, as well as research into different parts of the organization about what happened. Some of the things that we are specifically focused on is that third-party evaluation of the condition of the pipe. I think the last I heard, that is going to take a couple of months to get the report from the third-party evaluator.
Okay.
The third-party evaluation of the inline inspection, that is going to take a couple of months.
All right.
A corrective action order can actually be in place for several months, and
okay.
It's not until, go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to ask some other questions as well, and so I now have a time frame. And thank you. Please keep this, my office and my constituents, that's a good way to do it, and this committee updated as to how things progress. I must say the information we have so far is very troubling. Makes us question the condition of, now I understand it's millions of miles of pipeline running through our country. As you know, Plains did an inline inspection of line 901 May 5th, and this is just 2 weeks before that very line ruptured. This inspection showed 45% metal loss at the rupture site. Yet now we are shocked to discover that the actual level of corrosion was over 80% when the ruptured pipe was evacuated. I've seen it myself. Ms. Cummings, were you surprised by the disparity, and is this a common occurrence?
The inline inspection tool provides a great deal of data, and that data has to be analyzed by experts in order to determine what the data is telling them. They also go out and actually do digs and look at those anomalies to compare them to the data to make sure that they're getting the right information. I think that the results of an inline inspection need to be looked at from an expert on the data and an expert on pipelines.
Now I'm cutting off again, but you're
Sorry,
making it sound so obtuse. It's a disparity.
It is a disparity.
And it's disturbing. And it's not the only time it happens. Plains has reported that the inline inspection also overestimated the amount of corrosion at other points along the pipeline. We'd rather have an overestimate of a corrosion than underestimate. But these inline inspections are clearly not very accurate. Whether the issues with the technology, system operators, or both, there's clearly a problem here. So what is PHMSA doing to improve the accuracy? I mean, either over or under. Mm-hmm. What can we do to improve the accuracy of inline inspections in general?
To your point of the investigation, that will be part of our investigation, but looking at inline inspection and other assessment tools across the board, our research and development budget and our program is a partnership with industry where we identify those areas where we can use our funds to invest in future safety technologies. And one of the technologies we invest in a lot is inline inspection and other assessments. And so your support of our research and development program is actually the best way for us to be able to improve that assessment data and get closer to reality and to be able to mitigate risk.
Thank you. In addition, and I hope I can get my third question out here, in addition to corrosion on line 901, dozens of corrosion problems have been found on an adjacent line 903, a longer and wider segment of pipe connected to the ruptured line 901. These numerous problems have been outlined in your corrective action order, and I have your submission of those to us here and want to submit them for the record here. Plains has even acknowledged the problem by accelerating the frequency of its inline inspections after its 2012 inspection found 41 anomalies serious enough to require excavation. Yet, despite the pattern of corrosion and the failure to accurately measure the level of corrosion on the rupture site, PHMSA is still allowing Plains to operate 903 line at reduced pressure. Why is PHMSA allowing line 903 to operate when it has the very same corrosion disparities and problems as the pipeline that ruptured? What assurances can you provide that line 903 won't have the same problems that line 901?
As you pointed out in our corrective action order, we did notice similarities between 901 and 903, and so we took that imminent hazard and we applied it to line 903, and we have put additional requirements on Plains. The line 01 is empty. Line 903 does have oil in it. They are not operating it in regular course of action. About 100 miles away from the coast, just a portion of 903 is intermittently being operated, but the rest of 903 remains shut down, and they will only be able to operate under our authority if we allow them under the corrective action order.
Gentlelady's time's expired.